think they're on the road back, Man City. I do. I think they're getting their confidence back. And as we know, confidence is everything in sport, in any sport, really. The belief that you're going to beat the opposition. And I think they're getting that back now, week after week, even if the margins are not quite as wide as they have been in the past on a team like, with all due respect, Brentford. But of course, they've had a managerial change as well, and they seem to be doing not too bad. A more interesting one might be Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
Incidentally, I did a quick check between our podcast, and GIBBS-WHITE and Anderson play for Forest, of course.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
This chap Anderson, but the interesting part of that, I don't want to take your order of things to discuss, but just to quickly say that I noticed something I read yesterday.
Right.
That the owner of Forest, the Greek fellow, is now looking at, sounds ridiculous really, but possible replacements in the event of him deciding, or the board, which is really him, I guess, deciding to sack Postecoglou, because they're not doing that well at the moment.
No.
And I think it would be really wrong for him to be sacked if he is sacked quickly. It's not giving him any time. But Forest at the moment are not having the run they were having a year ago, let's face it. No. And hopefully he'll get it right, because I tend to feel a bit for him when he's interviewed before or after the matches, and he always seems to be a bit on the defensive. I don't think, from what I've seen, I don't think journalists are being unduly unpleasant to him at all. I mean, they ask the questions that are legitimately asked. But I sort of feel for him again, because I think he is a good manager under all this stuff. I think he is, and he's just probably finding his feet at Forest. And then he no doubt would have heard that, oh, well, if I get sacked, they're lining up other people to take over. That's a bit out of order, in my view, for something like that to be said. But anyway, I've digressed a bit.
No, that's fine. No, I was just, you just reminded me of there was a player, I can't remember his name now, but he was on Match of the Day live when they played, and he played under Postecoglou when he was at one of the Scottish clubs.
Scottish teams, yeah.
It was a manager for one of the Scottish teams, this guy said. Yeah. And the guy said, right, so when they were struggling, he said Postecoglou called him and he said, right, he said, don't worry, just do as I say and everything will be all right. And he said, well, he did turn their fortunes around at that club. And he said, so he personally still had faith in the guy's abilities to, turn things around at a Forest. Where I seem to have the problem with that sort of mentality is the owner of Forest is not a guy that I particularly like. and I know he wouldn't care if I liked him or not. He's got millions, but I just don't like his approach to to his management staff, if I can put it that way. I don't particularly like the way that he treated Santos, and I'm thinking, well, maybe he's getting his comeuppance with what's happening now, because Santos wasn't doing bad at the club, managing the club, but I don't know, perhaps he could have put the differences between them to aside and just let the business interests carry on. But anyway, and then that's where I sort of I just can't get past that bit with him. I thought he's gonna make a mistake with the way that he's going about it, because I don't think Santos particularly wanted to leave. I think Santos wanted to stay there and do his job, but obviously the influences that he was getting from this guy pushed him. Well, he was eventually sacked. So yeah. Now, how important is a number 9? Now, there's this guy called Deco, is the Barcelona sporting director. He said, we shouldn't be obsessed with signing a number 9. Perhaps you can do without a number 9. And this is what he's basing it on. He said PSG won the Champions League without a 9. Talking about a 9 is a bit of a mistake. What do you make of that?
Well, I think probably last season and the one before, where it became quite fashionable for teams to have what they called a false 9, where obviously a player would sometimes move up from midfield to take the role of the centre forward of the number 9, but he wasn't there all the time. He had other duties more important, if you like, on the pitch. So I don't really know. I mean, I know that obviously we think of teams like Manchester City with Haaland, and you can see that the thrust of their success the last 2 or 3 years has been him and his goals. You know, he scores an awful lot of goals every season. He's reliable, he's steadfast at it, and he will get you those goals. There's not many players you could actually say will guarantee you 20 goals. I mean, he's usually up in the 30 or 40 goals overall. So for them, it works very well. I think of Palace, and our preferred style has Mateta, number 9 again, in the middle at the front, number 9. And when he's on form, and no disrespect to him, he's a really good player. He holds the ball well. He's got good feet for a big, tall man. I think Glasner said recently that he felt he needs a rest. Mateta needs a bit of a rest. Actually, he says that he's just been selected for the French national team, so he'll be presumably playing this over the next week or so. And that's good. I don't think he's been selected before. So his performances have clearly registered with the French hierarchy there. But yeah, he has missed a couple of things. He would normally have gobbled up a couple of goals, which he would have normally scored. So like anybody, forwards will go through goal droughts. And in a way, Haaland has probably been through that a few times before. So, but I still say the number 9 is a key part of